ProlineTV.com presents America's longest-running pregame show, direct from Las Vegas, Proline, featuring Jim Feist, who nailed his blowout of the year, a 52-17 winner last Saturday, and has 2 free games this weekend, including a pro shocker. Dave Koken, who finished the weekend strong with the Texans Sunday and KC on Monday, and is geared up with 2 strong Saturday releases. Scott Spreitzer, who won his blockbuster blowout with Oklahoma last week and is releasing a pair of Game of the Year winners this weekend. And Big Al McMorty, the 34-time handicapping champion who went 2-0 with his Proline special last week and has a free 3-team college parlay today. And Roz Warbay, who has 3 TV games winning that are all absolutely free. And featuring our man on the street, 2-time world champion handicapper Jeff Allen, and our host, Pat Williams.
Hey, good morning and welcome back to week 2 of Proline. Teams in trouble, coaches on the hot seat. Mr. Dave Koken.
Oh, coaches on the hot seat. You want the under the radar guys? Or look, I'll give you one under the radar, which would be Steve Fairchild at Colorado State. That program's going in the wrong direction right now. But let me go to a bigger level nationally. Rick Neuheisel at UCLA. This program has not just stalled, they're going backwards in the Pac-10. And how can Neuheisel not find a quarterback, number one, that can stay on the field, Scott, but that he can develop? I mean, it's not happening with this guy.
You know, Neuheisel, I don't know if it's all his fault or what's happened to Norm Chow, calling the plays on the opposite side of the football. I mean, Norm Chow was considered a genius basically just about 8 to 10 years ago, and now this offense has done nothing under his direction either. I'll throw one out there. The state of Colorado is going to have a long unemployment line because Dan Hawkins, after last week, I saw one blog that said, come on, Dan, why don't you just call it quits before you hurt yourself? It's gotten that bad, Jim.
You know, you mentioned Norm Chow. I mean, a lot of times these coaches become great and famous because of the players that they have.
Sure.
Look at Mike Martz. He was, the St. Louis, the Rams. Tremendous. Super Bowl, Kurt Warner at quarterback. Best thing ever happened to him was when Trent Green got hurt and Warner comes out on the field. Look at Buddy Ryan back in the 85 Bears. These guys move on to other positions, but they never attain the same success that they had before. The players, in a lot of cases, make the coaches. Phil Jackson would never have been as good if he didn't have Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant.
Well, Jim, you mentioned Mike Martz. He's now with the Chicago Bears. And I'll tell you, a coach that should be on the hot seat but probably isn't is Lovie Smith. Made the worst coaching decision I've seen in years when they're on the 1-yard line, 4th down, and they don't kick the field goal to take the lead 16-14 against the Detroit Lions. Instead, they get stuffed on 4th down. But for that play at the end of the game, they would have lost 14-13. That was the worst decision I've seen in years by a coach.
Thanks, Big Al. Hey, when we come back, things are heating up here. We're going to take a look at the Maryland Terrapins taking on the West Virginia Mountaineers. Stay tuned.
Looking for an edge this football season? Then go to ProlineTV.com for free plays, free stats, free odds, and much, much more, including videos of the Proline show you're watching right now. So never miss an episode. Be sure to go to ProlineTV.com.
I said last week that I'd come out firing on the early season games, and that's exactly what I did last Saturday as my blowout of the year won 52-17. Plus, my personal service went 6-2 on Saturday, 4-1-1 on Sunday. That's 77% overall winners. Then I finished the week off with Baltimore and Kansas City on Monday night. Today, I'm releasing big games for the entire weekend absolutely free. Just make the call 1-888-294-1970 for a free play on a recorded message. Then press 1 for today's 10-star game of the month and a shocker of the year in tomorrow's pros. 2 big winners, completely free of charge. Make the call 1-888-294-1970 or go to ProlineTV.com now.
Hi, I'm Al McMorty, and last week my free TV offer went 2-0 as I won my Vegas Strip Move Game of the Year on Air Force and my 100% winner on Michigan. I absolutely loved that 2-0 Saturday, and today it gets even better. It's my 3-team college parlay, including my big chalk blowout of the year out of a 100% perfect system. Call right now, 888-294-1970. I'm going 3-0 today, and all 3 winners are absolutely free. 888-294-1970. Press button number 4 or go to ProLineTV.com. Rodriguez needs more than just 2 wins. Rodriguez needs to, he has a tough part at the end of the schedule. He needs to win 4 games out of the last, 7.
Isn't it amazing how one player can make a coach great?
How long is he going to hold up? This kid's getting 30 touches a game, and he's listed at 5'11". He ain't no 5'11" either. He's gonna get destroyed.
Welcome back to Proline. Up next, our panel will be discussing the matchup between Maryland and West Virginia. And don't forget to go to ProlineTV.com for free plays. Back to you, Pat.
Hey, thank you, Roz. Maryland and 21st ranked West Virginia meet today, and one of these teams will have their first blemish on a 2-0 start. Also on a 2-0 start, following last week's winner, is Big Al McMorty. He won his Vegas Strip Move Game of the Year on Air Force and a 100% system play on Michigan. The 34-time handicapping champion expects to do one better this week. Big Al, a 3-game special goes today.
Thanks, Pat. You know, as you mentioned, last week my free TV offer went 2-0 as I won my Vegas Strip Move Game of the Year on Air Force and my 100% winner on Michigan. I absolutely loved that 2-0 Saturday, and today it gets even better. It's my 3-team college parlay, including my big chalk blowout of the year out of a 100% perfect system. Call right now, 888-294-1970. I'm going 3-0 today, and all 3 winners are completely free. 888-294-1970. Press button number 4 or go to ProLineTV.com. Back to you, Pat.
Hey, thanks, Big Al. Jim, West Virginia very lucky to get out of that Marshall game with a victory last week.
Well, actually, Ralph Friedgen and Maryland 2 weeks ago was very lucky as well. They were getting beat up real bad by Navy, but Navy just couldn't punch it in the end zone inside the 5-yard line several times. So they got out with a victory. Friedgen said he was very proud of his team, that they were able to do that. They stayed focused. He said last year they would not have won that game, but he's very proud of his team. Bill Stewart, on the other hand, was lucky as well against Marshall, down 21-6. If Marshall punches it in, they're out of that game. They came back and they won that game in overtime. What I like about this game is not going to take a side. When you look at the number, came out 13.5 West Virginia. It's down to 10 already. That's a big move. I'm not going to touch it. I think the value is out of the line, but I like the under. I like it under the 45 that's up there right now.
You mentioned both teams lucky. I liked West Virginia's grit. I mean, coming back down as they were for, basically 3.5 quarters, and then they didn't just have one drive of 95-plus yards, but 2 drives in the fourth quarter of 95-plus yards to send it to overtime and win it there. But I talked last week, we all talked about line value, like the Oklahoma Sooners and Florida State. I do believe you have value on the favorite in this one, and that is, of course, West Virginia, because before week 1, I made it 13.5. Before week 2, I made it 13.5. The odds maker opened it up 13.5. It's down to 10. I'm laying the points here. I think Geno Smith tears this team up, and I like West Virginia.
Now, I agree with you. And well, you're right. You hit on the key word there, Scott. It's value. And it was all over Oklahoma last week, and it's that old deal where the public only remembered the last thing they saw, and that was the story with Oklahoma, which had struggled the week before with Utah State. Well, all they remember with West Virginia is that they struggled with this weak Marshall team, and then Maryland had the kind of lucky win. I had them that day against Navy, but they were lucky to win that game. And then they beat an FCS team 62-3 last year, so everybody's figuring, Maryland, pretty good. West Virginia, not so good. The talent gap is still pretty big here, let me tell you that. And this line's cheap. I like West Virginia to win by 2 touchdowns.
Hey, thanks, Dave. Hey, let's go to the Vegas Strip and to 2-time world champion handicapper Jeff Allen. His advertised game of the month, South Carolina shut down the Bulldogs, and his blowout and steam games went 5-0. Jeff, you're red hot. Maryland at West Virginia, how do you see it?
Well, Geno Smith came up big in the second half last week. They spoiled the Marshall upset. Defense gave up 370 yards. That's questionable. Maryland at 2-0 is pounding the rock. Darrell Scott, Adams, and Meggett. They're getting almost 2 touchdowns here. I like Maryland for a small play because the big plays are winning early at Jeff Allen Sports. Blowouts and steam games, 100% winners. Right now, 1,000-star blowout by 5 touchdowns plus 4 no TV action. It starts at noon Eastern, free on the message phone. Call 1-800-638-3411. Georgia, Arkansas, Georgia Tech, North Carolina, plus a 1,000-star blowout. 5-0 free, toll-free message. 1-800-638-3411. That's 1-800-638-3411. Back to you, Pat.
Hey, thanks, Jeff. Right after the break, Florida taking on Tennessee.
Sports fans, I'm 2-time world champion handicapper Jeff Allen, and last week I delivered. Blowouts and steam games, 5-0, 100% winners. Right now, huge information, 1,000-star blowout, 5 touchdowns, plus 4 no TV sweep, 5-0 free, starting at noon Eastern. Call 1-800-638-3411. Toll-free message, 1-800-638-3411. 1,000-star blowout, 5-0 free and guaranteed Toll-free message 1-800-638-3411.
Hi, I'm Al McMorty, and last week my free TV offer went 2-0 as I won my Vegas Strip Move Game of the Year on Air Force and my 100% winner on Michigan. I absolutely loved that 2-0 Saturday, and today it gets even better. It's my 3-team college parlay, including my big chalk blowout of the year out of a 100% perfect system. Call right now, 888-294-1970. I'm going 3-0 today, and all 3 winners are absolutely free. 888-294-1970. Press button number 4 or go to ProlineTV.com.
Hi, I'm Dave Koken, and I can't wait for today's action to kick off. Last Saturday was a mixed bag for me, but I won big Sunday with the Texans and on Monday with the Chiefs, and I'm firing on 2 big games today. Call 1-888-294-1970 right now for a free play on tape. Then press 2 on the keypad to get my college combo of the year completely free. 2 huge games, no cost, and available now at 1-888-294-1970 or by visiting ProlineTV.com.
Welcome back to Proline. Up next, the guys will be discussing the matchup between Florida and Tennessee. And don't forget to go to ProlineTV.com or call 1-888-294-1970. Back to you, Pat.
Hey, thanks, Roz. Some mixed results last week as the 10th-ranked Florida Gators kept rolling along while Tennessee was stomped by Oregon. Smokin' Dave Koken had some mixed results as well last weekend, with Mississippi just coming up a little short, but Oklahoma and the Texans came through big time. Now today he's geared up for 2 big games. Dave, your college combo of the year.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Pat. You know, last Saturday was really aggravating for me because Ole Miss has got it covered at the half, and then they just don't play a second half. It's against the law for that team to play 2 halves. It was a mixed day overall for me. It wasn't really bad. But the good news is Sunday and Monday were really good. I had strong on Houston on Sunday, like the Chiefs on Monday. Nice underdog wins the game outright. And today, I think is exceptional. There are certain weeks during the course of the season where I know it's going to be a little bit of a grind going in. And then there are certain days during the course of the season where I know this is a really good-looking schedule. That's the way today's card shapes up. I've got my college combo of the year. It's completely free. The way to go about getting it, call 1-888-294-1970. Listen to the free play that's on tape, and then press the 2 on your telephone keypad. Gets connected directly to my office. You're ready to go, and we're going to get 2-0 on my college combo of the year. And again, this is really strong stuff today. Florida and Tennessee, I'm glad. I'll guarantee you one thing. I'm not using that game.
Big Al McMorty, is the Florida Gators really the 10th best team in the country?
Well, we'll find out at the end of the year, but I'll tell you something. The Oregon Ducks might be the best team in the country, and they just whooped up on Tennessee last week, 48-13, after they spotted the Volunteers a 13-0 lead. But one of the things I like to do as a handicapper is play on home dogs off blowout losses as home dogs, as these 2 teams don't want to play 2 bad games in front of the home faithful. And if you take a look at how teams have done in this situation, where they're an underdog of 7 or more points off a loss in which they failed to cover the spread by 18 or more points, believe it or not, 63% against the spread long term. I'm all over the home dog here. And I don't know what you think about this, Jim, but this is an interesting game.
Well, I really didn't have much of a thought about the game, and listening to what you have to say, that's very compelling. Derek Dooley, the coach for Tennessee, says, the good news is we have plenty of adversity ahead of us.
Good news.
I can't figure that one out. I mean, is there the bad adversities behind us or what? As far as Florida's concerned, I mean, they have their issues too. They haven't really played that well. As far as whether they're the 10th best team in the country, right now I would say no. At the end of the year, like Al said, maybe it'll be different. Scott?
Tennessee just got nothing in the trenches. I mean, they might not want to play a bad game second time in a row in front of the home folks, but good thing you got rid of Phil Fulmer down there in Tennessee, huh? Be careful to what you ask for. I'll tell you what about the Florida Gators, though. That offense in the second half last week started to come together under Brantley. And, of course, they're running more of a Chris Leak type offense than a Tim Tebow, and it's going to take some time to gel. But I do think they get over this number. This line was 30 for this game last year. I know it's a different site. Florida, a little down, but not that down. And Tennessee, they're just playing bad football right now. So a 16-point adjustment on the spread. I got to lay the points at the Florida Gators.
Hey, thanks, Scott. When we come back, the Tennessee Titans take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Dave Koken, and I can't wait for today's action to kick off. Last Saturday was a mixed bag for me, but I won big Sunday with the Texans and on Monday with the Chiefs, and I'm firing on 2 big games today. Call 1-888-294-1970 right now for a free play on tape. Then press 2 on the keypad to get my college combo of the year completely free. 2 huge games, no cost, and available now at 1-888-294-1970 or by visiting ProlineTV.com.
Hi, I'm Scott Spreitzer here to tell you about my Smash Mouth weekend. I'm releasing my college blockbuster blowout game of the year and my pro football total of the year on the same report. My college blockbusters are 10-3, 77% lifetime, easily winning with Oklahoma over Florida State last weekend. If you like that 30-point beatdown, you're going to love this Slaughter Rule wipeout. Grab it now at 1-888-294-1970 and press 3 on your keypad. That's 1-888-294-1970 and press 3 or go to ProlineTV.com.
Welcome back. Up next, the guys will be discussing another great matchup between Pittsburgh and Tennessee. And don't forget to go to our free pick phone at 1-888-294-1970. Back to you, Pat.
Thank you, Roz. And the Steelers needed OT last week, while Tennessee outclassed the Oakland Raiders in a repeat of the AFC Championship game from just 2 years ago. And repeat winners are on tap this weekend at Smash Mouth Sports. Last weekend, Handicapper Scott Spreitzer won his free heavy hitter of the month when Air Force thumped BYU. He also won his blockbuster blowout with Oklahoma, and Scott's 4-0 combined with his main events and his tap outs. Today, he's releasing his blockbuster blowout game of the year in college football. Scott, at no cost whatsoever.
You like slasher movies?
I love
young
slasher
man?
movies.
Well, I tell you, that's what we did last week. You know, USC didn't get there, but those other games you just mentioned, slashers, start to finish, blowouts right across the board. We're going to do it again. We not only had Oklahoma, we not only had Air Force, we finished up strong with the big main event on Texas Tech. They slaughtered the Lobos so badly that PETA was protesting. We're going to do it again, folks. We've got 2 huge games of the year going right now, and as Pat said, for free for the first time ever. Call 1-888-294-1970, press 3 on your touch-tone phone. I feel like an American Idol contestant. Press 3 on your touch-tone phone. You'll get my blockbuster blowout game of the year in college, 10-3 lifetime, 77% with those plays. You'll also get Sunday's pro total of the year. Last week's lone total, Bengals, Patriots over. They scored 62 big, fat, juicy points. Make the call, 1-888-294-1970 and press 3.
Hey, thanks, Scott. Jim Feist, the Pittsburgh Steelers catching points again?
Well, they don't have Big Ben at quarterback, so a lot of people are not going to respect them. But they'd be an underdog here no matter what, because you're talking about the Tennessee Titans, Jeff Fisher. This is a winning team. Smash Mouth, this is named after you, Smash Mouth football. I mean, both teams focus on the running game. And you know what? Johnson for Tennessee doesn't run that well against the Steelers, but nobody does. This game is going to be hard knocks all the way. Tough football. I'm not going to pick a side.
Jim, you're right. This is a tough game, but I'm still going to step in and take Tennessee here. I like going against teams in week 2 off an upset win at home to start the year, as Pittsburgh did. These teams, when catching 5 points in week number 2, they're just 14% against the spread, including 0-9 off a win of 3 or more points. I'm going to take Chris Johnson and the Tennessee Titans, and I'm just going to hope that they can score enough points against that staunch Pittsburgh defense today.
That's where I get confused on the technical stuff, because to me that wasn't an upset that the Steelers beat the Falcons. They should not have been the underdog in that game. They were barely dogs in that game. Tennessee looked good. And, you know, remember, this is a team that started 0-6 last year, and I believe they are absolutely intent on making sure that doesn't happen. Well, it can't happen now because they won, but in other words, not getting off to another bad start. But I do think that this is going to be exactly what Jim said it was. This is going to be knockdown, drag-out, brutal football. And Chris Johnson, if you can get 100 yards here, you're doing something. I think this will be a low-scoring football game. Pat, I like the under.
Thanks, Dave. Hey, guys, let's go back out to the Vegas Strip and 2-time world champion Jeff Allen. Jeff, Pittsburgh and Tennessee, how do you see it?
Well, I did well with both Pittsburgh and Tennessee last week. Dixon did a nice job, 236 yards. Defense allowed just 58 yards rushing. Vince Young, 9-2 as a starter, his last 11. Chris Johnson, 142 on the ground, but it's too many points here. Small play on Pittsburgh tomorrow. Right now at noon Eastern, 1,000 star blowout, 4-0 TV sweep, free toll-free message, 1-800-638-3411. I've got the information. I'm going 5-0 free guaranteed or September free toll-free message, 1-800-638-3411. You got Georgia, Arkansas early, Texas Tech late, 1,000 star winner by 5 touchdowns, 5-0 free toll-free message. Call 1-800-638-3411. That's 1-800-638-3411. Back to you, Pat.
Hey, thanks, Jeff. When we come back, the Arizona Cardinals take on the Atlanta Falcons. Stay tuned.
Sports fans, I'm two-time world champion handicapper Jeff Allen, and last week I delivered blowouts and steam games 5-0, 100% winners. Right now, huge information, 1,000 star blowout, 5 touchdowns, plus 4-0 TV sweep, 5-0 free, starting at noon Eastern. Call 1-800-638-3411. Toll-free message 1-800-638-3411. 1,000 star blowout, 5-0 free and guaranteed. Toll-free message 1-800-638-3411.
Looking for an edge this football season? Then go to ProlineTV.com for free plays, free stats, free odds, and much, much more, including videos of the Proline show you're watching right now. So never miss an episode. Be sure to go to ProlineTV.com.
Hi, I'm Scott Spreitzer here to tell you about my Smash Mouth weekend. I'm releasing my college blockbuster blowout game of the year and my pro football total of the year on the same report. My college blockbusters are 10-3, 77% lifetime, easily winning with Oklahoma over Florida State last weekend. If you like that 30-point beatdown, you're going to love this Slaughter Rule wipeout. Grab it now at 1-888-294-1970 and press 3 on your keypad. That's 1-888-294-1970 and press 3, or go to ProlineTV.com.
Welcome back to Proline. Up next, the panel will be discussing the matchup between Arizona and Atlanta. And don't forget to go to our free pick phone at 1-888-294-1970 or go to ProlineTV.com. Back to you, Pat.
Hey, thanks, Roz. We mentioned the Falcons lost last week in overtime while the Cardinals squeaked out a win over St. Louis. However, there's no squeaking by with world champion handicapper Mr. Jim Feist. He mentioned his hot starts and backed it up, going 6-2 with his personal services releases last Saturday. 4-1-1 on Sunday and nailed his blowout game of the year. Jim, Texas Tech 52-17.
That's right, Pat. It was a Texas-sized blowout. It was a monster weekend and included another Game of the Year winner by 35 points and 77% winners overall on my personal service selections. Today, I have 2 more huge games that are both available free of charge. Just make the call to 1-888-294-1970 and simply press 1 and go 2-0 this weekend, starting with today's 10-star college game of the month. But that's not all. I'm also releasing a Pro Shocker of the Year, a $50 value online, absolutely free as well. 2 big games, 2 big winners, including the Shocker of the Year, absolutely free. Press 1 when you call 1-888-294-1970 or go to ProlineTV.com. Pat, it's been a pleasure sitting with you today, even though you misbehaved most of the day.
Jim, be that as it may. Scott Spreitzer, speaking of misbehaving, the offensive coordinators for these 2 teams, are you kidding me?
The offensive lines, the offenses, the quarterbacks, they were all misbehaved. I think he's got a future in this business if he keeps his nose clean talking about Jim. But I'll tell you what, we've talked many times in just the first 2 weeks about line differential. Well, a couple of weeks ago, there's a certain store here in Las Vegas that puts up lines 2 weeks early, and they made the Atlanta Falcons a 7.5-point favorite. It's 6.5 right now. Not crazy about the Falcons in this one, but I don't like Arizona and their youth being on the road for the second straight week. I'm going to back the Atlanta Falcons here.
Well, I'm going to go with the total again because I got to tell you, Arizona Cardinals, not going to be a good offensive team. They got quarterback issues. If Derek Anderson's your starting quarterback, immediately you have quarterback issues. He couldn't start in Cleveland, all right? He lost the job in Cleveland. Larry Fitzgerald, if you got him on your fantasy team, trade him. I'm serious. I mean, his numbers are just not going to be what you're used to seeing. Atlanta has an excellent defense. I'm not sure about their offense. Is Ryan ready to progress and take the next step? He wasn't real good last year. Wasn't real good last week, but that was against the Steelers. Maybe he can break it loose here, but I think you're looking at a low-scoring game here, Al.
Thanks, Dave. Scott mentioned that this is Arizona's second straight game on the road to start the year. Sort of counterintuitive, but these teams do rather well. 32-15 against the spread versus teams off a loss, including 26-8 when the line is 7 points or less. I'm still not going to take that side, though. I kind of going to go opposite of Dave here. I think it's also counterintuitive. I'm going to take this game over the total as a don't make sense play.
Al, just to back that up, here's no bounce back for the home field. Team loses week 1, comes home in week 2, just 21-44 ATS. So that your side was on the road team. This is against the home team. So that might actually be a pretty good play. Dave, let's talk about ProLineTV.com. Stats, injuries, lines, odds, all there.
Well,
free picks as well.
And there's something else. This is a really cool feature. We've got several big contests around Las Vegas, including the one that's been going on for many years in pro football over at the Hilton. People want to know who the experts are playing in these huge contests. Well, you get all that information free at ProlineTV.com. It's another great reason to visit the site.
Hey, thanks, guys. Don't touch that dial. When we come back, our panel brings you their plays of the week. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Roz Warbe. I've got the next 3 days of football action covered. I'm kicking things off with tonight's big game between Texas and Texas Tech. Then I'll keep the winners coming with the Sunday night game between the Giants and the Colts. And I'm finishing off the week with my Monday night call, the Saints and the 49ers. Just call the Proline free pick phone at 1-888-294-1970 and press the number 5 to get on board. That's 1-888-294-1970 or go to ProlineTV.com.
Hi, I'm Dave Koken, and I can't wait for today's action to kick off. Last Saturday was a mixed bag for me, but I won big Sunday with the Texans and on Monday with the Chiefs, and I'm firing on 2 big games today. Call 1-888-294-1970 right now for a free play on tape. Then press 2 on the keypad to get my college combo of the year completely free. 2 huge games, no cost, and available now at 1-888-294-1970 or by visiting ProlineTV.com.
I said last week that I'd come out firing on the early season games, and that's exactly what I did last Saturday as my blowout of the year won 52-17. Plus, my personal service went 6-2 on Saturday, 4-1-1 on Sunday. That's 77% overall winners. Then I finished the week off with Baltimore and Kansas City on Monday night. Today, I'm releasing big games for the entire weekend absolutely free. Just make the call 1-888-294-1970 for a free play on a recorded message. Then press 1 for today's 10-star game of the month and a shocker of the year in tomorrow's pros. 2 big winners, completely free of charge. Make the call 1-888-294-1970 or go to ProlineTV.com now.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Our plays of the week, Big Al McMorty.
Thanks, Pat. My top play, Atlanta, Arizona, over the total. Your play is to call 888-294-1970. 3-team parlay. I'm going 3-0, including my big chalk blowout of the year, 888-294-1970, button number 4.
Thank you, Big Al. Smoking, Dave Koken.
West Virginia, easy against Maryland. Even easier, my 2 winners on my combo of the year. 2 great plays, they're free. Call 1-888-294-1970 and press the 2.
Thanks, Dave. Smash Mouth Handicapper, Scott Spreitzer.
Great minds think alike, and even Dave and I. I'm going to West Virginia minus the points for my top play and your top play. Make the call 1-888-294-1970. Press 3 on the keypad. You'll get my blockbuster blowout game of the year in college and my pro total of the year, all free.
Thanks, Scott. Jim Feist, your plays of the week.
My play of the week is Maryland, West Virginia game under the total. Make the call to 1-888-294-1970. Press 1, and you're going to get 10-star college game of the month and the pro shocker of the year. 1-888-294-1970. And don't forget, ProlineTV.com for free plays each and every day.
Thanks, Jim. That's our show for the week. Tune in every Saturday morning right here on USA Network, 7 a.m. for more Proline. Take care, everybody.